There are thousands and thousands of warning signs around the world. But these are the top 10 signs that shouldn't exist. Let's start with the signs. Number 10. At first glance. This looks like a joke. A warning sign claiming the area is protected by a creature that shouldn't exist. The Loch Ness Monster. Signs like this have been photographed near lakes, forests, and private land. Most of them don't list an owner. They don't explain what the creature is supposed to do. What makes this sign unsettling isn't the monster. It's the wording. Not responsible for injury or possible death. That doesn't sound like a joke. Some people believe the sign is meant to scare trespassers. Others think it's a local joke. But there's another theory, that these signs are placed after something already happened. People online claim strange sounds were heard near locations where these signs appeared. Large movements in the water, shadows near the shoreline, and then silence. The next number 9. At first glance, this looks like a distorted crossing sign. But the figure isn't human. It has horns, hooves, and proportions that don't make sense. This symbol resembles ancient depictions of half-man, half-goat beings. Creatures that appear in myths long before modern warning signs existed. Yet this sign looks recent. Metal, standard size, placed like an official warning. It references something people claim to have seen. Half-man, half-goat, standing upright, watching. Local reports. In several rural areas, reports describe a tall figure with horns crossing roads at night. Drivers slow down, even when nothing is there. What makes this sign disturbing is that it isn't placed deep in the forest. It's placed near roads, where people pass. Number 8. Unlike most legends, the Kraken was documented, not in myths alone, but in shiplogs. In the 1700s, Norwegian sailors described something massive beneath the ocean surface. Not a wave, not a storm, something that moved against the current. This sign doesn't joke. It doesn't decorate. It warns. And warning signs exist for patterns. The Kraken legend may have started with giant squid. But giant squid don't attack ships. They don't surface in storms. And they don't drag vessels downward. What makes this unsettling is that the ocean still hides most of its life. Over 80% remains unexplored. If something that large existed, it would never need to surface twice. This sign isn't warning tourists. It's acknowledging history. Number 7. This sign appears deep in northern forests, far from cities, far from roads. The Wendigo legend comes from Algonquian tribes. It wasn't described as an animal. It wasn't described as a demon. It was described as something that used to be human, and then changed. The Wendigo wasn't just a monster. It represented something worse: hunger, isolation, and the loss of humanity. This sign doesn't say danger. It doesn't say Animal Crossing. It shows a shape. Tall, thin, wrong. According to legend, you don't see a Wendigo. You hear it. People who reported sightings didn't describe attacks. They described being watched for hours. Number 7. Medusa did not originate as a monster story. She comes from ancient Greek mythology, over 2,500 years ago. She was one of the Gorgon's 3 monstrous sisters. Euryale and Stheno were immortal, but Medusa was not, and was slain by the hero Perseus. According to early Greek texts, Medusa was once human, transformed into something else. Her hair became living snakes. Her gaze turned flesh into stone. Ancient civilizations did not treat her as fiction. They used her image as protection, as a warning, not to worship her, but to repel something worse. Statues of Medusa appear across ancient ruins, stone faces frozen in fear. Some believed unusual rock formations were victims. People didn't laugh at the story. They feared it. Medusa wasn't dangerous because she chased you. She was dangerous because you would look, and that was enough if something could kill with a glance. Would a warning sign even matter? Number 6. Long before sailors feared storms, they feared something beneath them. The Leviathan appears in ancient Hebrew texts, mentioned in the book of Job, described as a massive sea creature. Its scales were said to be impenetrable. Its presence churned the sea, and no weapon could pierce it. It wasn't hunted. It wasn't fought. It was avoided. Ancient sailors didn't hunt what lived in the deep. They learned its patterns. They changed direction. Maps didn't mark Leviathan. They marked danger. When ships vanished, storms were blamed. Reefs were blamed. But not everything that sinks is taken by the wind. At least the sea hides its monsters. Number 5. Unlike sea monsters, Baba Yaga did not live far away. She lived in the forest. In Slavic folklore, Baba Yaga was not simply a witch. She was ancient, older than the villages around her. She lived in a hut, standing on chicken legs. The forest was already dangerous, but Baba Yaga made it personal. She did not chase. She waited. Travelers were told, if you hear something calling your name in the woods, do not answer.
Hello?
You don't enter her forest uninvited. Number 4. Unlike ancient legends, this one has witnesses. 1966. Point Pleasant, West Virginia. Multiple people reported seeing a tall, winged figure, over 6 feet tall. Massive wings, glowing red eyes. It didn't speak. It didn't attack. It watched. 13 months after the first sightings, the Silver Bridge collapsed. 46 people died. Some believed the creature was a warning. Others believed it was connected. No official explanation was ever given. The sighting stopped after the bridge fell, as if it had finished watching. Number 3. Late at night, empty street. You see him. A tall man, in a suit, standing still, smiling. Too wide. He doesn't run. He doesn't speak. He just walks toward you. The smile never changes. Not once. And when you look back, he's closer. He didn't chase. He didn't need to. He was already behind you. Number 2. This one isn't a monster. It's a copy. The Skinwalker comes from Navajo legend. It isn't just a creature in the woods. It's something that can take the shape of animals, and sometimes even people. Stories describe it as tall, thin, and unnatural. Its movements are wrong, almost human, but not quite, like something trying to imitate us. People say it calls out at night, not with a growl, not with a scream, but with a familiar voice. Sometimes a friend, sometimes a family member. Sometimes your own voice calling your name from the dark. The most disturbing part isn't that it hunts, it's that it learns. And according to the legend, the Skinwalker doesn't want to kill you. It wants to replace you. And the last number 1, the backseat killer. You're driving at night, empty road, no cars behind you, but then a car starts flashing its headlights at you. Again and again. You get annoyed. Why is he flashing? You pull over. The driver runs to your window and says, "Don't turn around." Someone was sitting in your back seat. Every time the headlights flashed, it wasn't at you. It was at the figure rising behind you. The danger wasn't on the road. It was already in your car. And you never checked.